Hi, Lewis. First of all, you'll be delighted, I'm sure, that you might get a couple of members of your family into the cup final next week. But overall, what's your thoughts on just 300 fans per club?
Look, I don't think it's really helped anyone, to be honest. I think we all should be talking, looking forward to the match, and this is kind of took over recently. So, it's out with our hands. I think it's out with the club hands as well. So, you love all your family and all the fans that have supported us through the years to get there. So it's a bit disappointing. Kind of, I think we're all kind of thinking that we should do all or nothing. Kind of, we've been used to it all season without any fans, and it's going to end up being that a lot of people are very disappointed as there's a kind of carrot dangled that kind of gives people false hope. So I think maybe I think we're getting 1 or 2 tickets for us. Even that can divide families as well. So it's a strange one, and something that we need to focus more on the football match itself rather than what's happening with fans.
Can you remember how many tickets you got for the last final?
I think we get given 4 by the club usually, and the opportunity to buy some more. I think that's the case. That was a few years ago, but we were kind of thinking there's going to be no fans with no families and stuff, so we kind of accepted that, and now it's a bit of, I don't know, maybe a stress that we're maybe not needing before the game.
Is it a bit of a dampener on it, do you think? When there was, in a couple of weeks' time, there'll be 12,000 fans inside Hampden Park for a Scotland game. You had a little bit of hope that you could maybe get at least a couple of thousand in.
I think so. Obviously, we want as many HIBS fans there as possible. So, when you think next month there's going to be 12,000 fans, it does seem strange, but it's not really for me to talk about it. It's not really my kind of role at the club to talk about stuff like that. Everyone's got their opinion, and as I said, we'd have loved as many HIBS fans there as possible, and it's not going to be the case. Seems like 300 is a pretty minimal number. It's going to leave more people disappointed than happy.
Looking ahead then, you still think you've got a chance of playing in the final?
So, Ali, did you get in there? I just pressed let you in. That'd be all right. No, Josh has been unbelievable all season, and he's been the number one left back, number one left wing back. So, I've played my part of the season at times, and it's been strange because I feel like I've almost contributed more this season when I have played. My performance has probably been better than I did the previous season, where I was kind of on the pitch, but not playing that well. So, no, I'm sure if Josh is fit, he's going to play, and quite rightly deserves to.
And looking ahead to tomorrow, Celtic final home game of the season, final league match of the season. Fair to say it's been quite an outstanding season for the club, hasn't it? In all manners, it would be nice to go into a cup final with a victory.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Celtic have obviously played well on Wednesday night, and the pressure's off them. Kind of, they've nothing really to play for. They've still got some top players, so it's going to be very difficult. No, we want to finish the league season on a high, and as you touched on there, it's been a fantastic season. Sometimes I don't think the club's quite had the credit it deserve. Other teams have been talked about and kind of overshadowed our performance, but to get in a cup final and to finish third is the first time in 16 years or so shows how far the club came, and how far this group of players and how well the manager and management staff have done. Just
finally on that then, are you surprised that Jack's not been higher up the order in terms of manager of the year then?
Totally, I didn't get a dodge to that conversation earlier. I don't get it myself, but I don't know who makes these decisions. But for me, since he's came in the club, when I've been playing, when I've not been playing, it's been fantastic, and I don't think anyone within the training centre has got a bad word to say about him. From organisation wise, tactically, motivationally, man management, he's up there with the best I've worked with. he's a massive part of how we've had so much success this season.
Thanks, Louis. Good luck, pal.
Hey, Louis.
How's it going?
How you doing, mate? Can I just take one quick question, take you back to the cup final ticket aspect? I remember reading Roy Keane's book, and he spoke about how he played in his first FA Cup final, and the build-up to the game was overshadowed because he was stressing about getting tickets for friends and family. I mean, just with the situation at Hampden, is that going to be a concern for you? Is that going to be something that are going to stress out the boys if you're going to have to try and work out, as you say, which family member gets tickets and who doesn't?
No, I'm sure we'll hopefully get sorted out at the start of the week, and that can be less stress. But I've been in the past when it's like last minute tickets and stuff, and it's not great preparation. It's something that I've obviously not to worry about at all this year, and it's probably been a welcome. Dave, always the captain, usually sorts for the tickets. I know it's a major stress for him. So that's probably one thing we've not missed this season, having to dish the tickets out. But as you say, that hopefully that'll get sorted at the start of the week. We can find out who's going, how many tickets people are getting, and focus on the match by the end of the week.
Appreciate it. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Just reflecting on finishing third again, it was 2004 season the last time. It's a squad that had the likes of Scott Brown, Bouslan, Rardon and O'Connor. These are guys who are, remembered through the years by Hibs fans. What do you say about this squad, that they've been the ones to kind of finish third again and emulate that squad?
As I said, I still don't think the team or the club's quite had the credit it's deserved this season. Consistently getting deep in the cup competitions. I think we just quietly went about our business. We've kind of managed to find a way that even when we're not playing well, we managed to get the wins, which is something that we've probably been labelled in the past for. It's been disappointing and something we've not been able to do. So we made that step and laid the marker down. We're at the top as well, something we've not done for ages. So we're going in the right direction. It's obviously been a strange season. The fans have obviously haven't felt as much part of it as they usually do. So when we get them back and get them going, and the club's in a great place, and hopefully they can enjoy watching us again on Saturday afternoons.
This is probably a tough one, but is this one of the best dressing rooms, the best teams that you've been a part of in your time here? It's mad to think over all the years this will be the first time you've been part of a squad that's finished third in the top league.
I've been lucky playing some great teams here, maybe some not so good as well, but it's definitely up there to finish third, to get in semi-finals, get in finals. It's up there with the best I've played with that team. I kind of got the tail end of that team that finished third last time, and I think we're definitely up there. We've got some great individuals, but as a team and as a group, we're close, and maybe not big on numbers. But everyone's played their part, and the manager's made everyone feel so welcome, and even when minutes and games have been limited, you still do feel really, really part of it, and everyone's made a big contribution. So a great group of boys, and I think I say this all the time when asked, but the boys are brand new, and it's like such a close group. There's older boys, younger boys, but we all got on so well, and I think that's been testament to how we've managed to get over the line and get in a good league position this season. Great league position.
Cheers, bud.
Thank you. Cheers.
Lewis, is it somewhat ironic that Scott Brown's last game is going to be, in a Celtic shirt at least, is going to be at Easter Road tomorrow? Yeah, it's quite nice. Obviously, kind of bookends his career at Celtic. I'm saying that he's still, it's acting like he's retired. He's still going to be playing. I'm sure he's got a few seasons left in him at Aberdeen. So, a fantastic captain, a fantastic person, and just what he's achieved at Celtic's, it's unbelievable. He was brilliant for me when I was here. Fellow Fifer, he kind of helped me in the changing room, and just a fantastic player and a great person, and the kind of people you often seen do so well. You've always had a soft spot, even though he went to Celtic, a rival club. Always wanted him to do well, and an amazing career that I'm sure he's in the stats, but he must be the most successful one-on-one Scottish player, especially since I've been playing.
I think that's been 15 years or something since you last played with him, but nice moment for you as well.
He's obviously got that switch. I'm sure when he's playing in the game, he's got that switch. It's like he's never seen him before. But no, I'll definitely congratulate him after the game on how well it's done. And no, we'll be rivals again when the season starts when he joins Everton. So he's ended his Celtic career, but I'm sure he's got a few more years left on.
Lewis, it's been a special season for you. You made your 500th appearance for Hibs. How high does this rank in recent times in your Hibs career this season?
People have been asking it. Obviously, I've not played as much as I have in recent years, but I've enjoyed it as much as any. As I said earlier, when I've played, I've probably contributed more and played well in the games I've played more of this season than I had in previous seasons. So I've enjoyed it. It does help when the team's doing well and it's a successful team to be in. But to play my 500th game and not be part of the squad and make a small part that I've played in it, I still feel valued and I've not achieved everything yet this season. We've still got a massive game to go, but could go down in one of the best seasons in history.
Yeah, absolutely. You spoke earlier on there about the boys being a close group. Do you think the situation in the past year has brought you together that wee bit extra, just by not having fans in the stadium and having to rely on each other that wee bit more in games?
So we're the only backing that the players have got in the pitch sometimes. So from substitutes to people who not make the bench for injured boys, we've all been sticking together. We've all been close. We're all pulling in the same direction. So that's definitely helped. There's been a few games where it's been flat and stuff, and we've been getting around the boys. The management staff have been wanting everyone getting involved. Team talks, we're all in together, and I think that may be a small difference, but it's definitely something that's helped us this season.
I know you touched on Scott Brown there by Ben, but how pleasing has it been from your perspective as a mate coming through at Hibs to see him going to win 22 major honours in his career at Celtic, and how big an influence early on did they have in your career when you were coming through into the first team at Hibs?
Massive. I think he's only 2 or 3 years older than me. By the time I came through, he had played over 100 games, so he was like a seasoned pro at that time. And just two opposites off the back. As I said, he's got that switch for being a jovial, jokey figure, nice guy with doing it for you too. When he gets on that pitch, he's stealing, determined, and probably one of the biggest winners I've been involved in. And he was great with me. Even times when I was not playing well or bad, he would always stick up for me and put an arm around you. That's probably why he's been so successful and such a great captain for Celtic, because not just a great footballer, but a great person as well.
All the best for tomorrow, Lewis.
Thank you. Cheers.
Jack, the build-up to a cup final is normally filled with lots of celebrations, looking back on the year, some great interaction with the fans. This is different, or is it not? And how disappointed are you with the 300 tickets rather than the few thousand?
Well, I think the nature of the Scottish Cup this year has obviously been a little bit different because the rounds have been played so close together. So it's felt like a quick progression from the early rounds to the final. From a football point of view, I don't think the excitement or the anticipation will change once we get into the beginning of next week. I think that will remain the same as it would do in normal circumstances because the prize is just as big. And in terms of the decision around the number of fans that attend the game, I suppose there's been a lot of things over the last year and a half that at times I've understood, at times I've struggled to get my head around, and I can't quite understand the decision. I'm sure that there's always the case that people come out in the aftermath of MD complaining about the decision and point out why they're right and we're wrong. But I do find it baffling, to be honest. And as I said often enough, I think when you complain or you take issue with the decisions about it being only football, I think we should never underestimate the significance of it. This game plays in everybody's lives, or in a lot of people's lives, in Scotland, and what it provides in a social sense and in terms of sense of belonging, etc. So I do think find it a little bit peculiar that we've only allowed this number of fans into the ground, but the decision's been made, and as I said, obviously we just have to continue. From a football point of view, we've been used to having no fans in the stadium, so it's not going to change too much in terms of our preparation and mindset.
In terms of, I mean, I think Wembley this week have got 21,000 in for the FA Cup final. Is it incumbent of the Scottish FA and maybe the Scottish Government as well to come out and tell everybody why it's only 600?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be nice to have a clear explanation. I'm sure, I know there has been reasons offered for it. I think though for normal people, call them that, or people that aren't blessed with either the scientific knowledge or information or whatever it may be, I think it's quite a difficult thing to comprehend. And even regarding one of the reasons given about the 2 metre distance in and outside, I think from Monday, if I may be mistaken, and if I am, then I apologise, but I think from Monday is it 1 metre distancing in an indoor hospitality venue, and yet 2 metre distancing outside. Say I'm a layman when it comes to science, but I don't quite get that, and it's a shame. And as you mentioned, that not that far away in the same country, because we are part of the United Kingdom, there's an awful lot more people going to be at a cup final. In the not too distant future, there's going to be an awful lot more people than 600 inside the same stadium. So I just find it difficult to comprehend. I feel as if it was perhaps a missed opportunity to have most people participating in something that means an awful lot to people as well.
Before you get to next week, of course, you've got an important game. You've secured 3rd place. Congratulations on that. It's a momentous day tomorrow, maybe not for too many people at Hibs, but certainly for one Celtic captain and former Hibs player, Scott Brown, and he's leaving Celtic Park. Do you think that will form any part of what's going to go on tomorrow?
No, I mean, I think naturally my focus is only on my playing group, and winning midweek was important for us. It had been a long-term ambition for us this season. And then I think with the cup final lying ahead, it is very much an added bonus that we'll be able to utilise our squad fully tomorrow, an opportunity to do that. But what I would say is that I think it's important to, as a football manager, to absolutely pay tribute to what Scott has achieved in his time at Celtic. I think it's absolutely remarkable. The number of medals and trophies he's won during that time, and the contribution he's made to Celtic as a club, and obviously to his country in that time as well. So a remarkable career, and I'm sure it'll be a strange feeling for him when full time goes tomorrow. I think he would have had that midweek with his last game at Parkhead, but you know, from our perspective, just solely focused on Hibs. But equally, I would certainly not pay tribute to what Scott has achieved in a remarkable career at Celtic.
Given your own circumstances, could this also be though some of Hibernian players' last game at Easter Road? Ophir, for example. Yeah,
I mean, Ophir's obviously decided not to renew his contract here, so he'll move on to a fresh challenge. But for those that made that definitive decision, that will be an emotional day as well, particularly with what Ophir has contributed to the club and the length of time he's been here. And like he's spoken about from a family perspective as well, how much it's became such a big part of his life living in Scotland. So I think he'll look forward to that. And it's important for us to try and give him fit and farewell in terms of winning the game as well. So as always, when you get to the last game of the season, it's significant to people for a variety of reasons, and particularly for those time at a club are coming to an end.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks, Brian.
Can I just check your team news, please, Paul?
Yeah, we are just as we were midweek, Andy. So no fresh injuries from the Aberdeen game. Nobody else returning, so just the squad as it was for the midweek game. Sorry, I should say with the exception of Fear. Obviously, he missed out late on Wednesday evening. I think it has been reported since that obviously he had some family issues over the course of Tuesday evening and Wednesday with his wife and child travelling to Israel. That was particularly worrying for him. So between us, we took the decision to leave him out on Wednesday, and since then he's been able to resolve that, and he's back in the squad for tomorrow.
Great, thanks. Cheers, buddy.
Thank you.
Jack, in terms of your own career, third place achievement, how high does that rank for you in terms of what you've achieved in the game?
I don't really know. I think it's something that I've said often enough that there may be a time that you sit back and you reflect, but for me at the moment, it's about doing my job as well as I can do it. Fortunate to have a career as a football manager. I genuinely love doing the job and try and get better at it all the time. So when I came to this club, it was about delivering success, and success for me was trying to get it to finish in this position that hasn't done so in a long time. So the fact we've done that in a relative short period of time as well is significant progress for us. And I just want to keep doing that. I want to keep bringing success to the club, whether that's in a league position or whether that is in cup competition. So I think overall, players and staff have enjoyed a terrific season to date and should be really proud of their achievements. And we're on the cusp of doing something truly outstanding that lies ahead for us in 10 days' time as well.
In terms of prep, obviously for the cup final, we've still got a final league game to go against Celtic tomorrow. Would you be tempted to rest any players, or is it a case of players playing for their place in the cup final next week?
No, I don't think my players have anything left to prove to me this season in terms of their performance level and what they've given me them in different ways. There'd be no way me would be judging them in any way tomorrow other than them maintaining the standards that they have done for the bulk of the season as well. But with winning midweek, it gives us a brilliant opportunity to freshen our group and freshen the team and look after some boys ahead of the final as well. So we'll use our full squad properly tomorrow.
All the best for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Jack, just quickly, for me, I know obviously the ticket situation's not ideal, but we happen to see there's a lot of fans saying that if it did come to it, then happily for the players' families.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the opinion that's been offered by supporters, I think it's first of all a reflection on how they are as a fan base, and second of all, it maybe shows their opinion on how they feel as if the players have performed this season. The fact that they feel as if they should be rewarded in that way. I think conversely, if you ask their player group, I'm sure they are more than happy for some fans to be in attendance, because for them, for those lucky few that get tickets, it's an opportunity for them to have that reward for the backing they've given the club as well. So I think when you have that harmony, if you like, an opinion between the fan base and players, it's because you've had a successful season, and thankfully that's been the case for us.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, David.
Jack, what have the last couple of games been like for you? How deep did the players dig for you? Because those were tough games with a lot of pressure and a lot of people asking whether the players could handle that pressure, and goodness me, they certainly did.
I've enjoyed them. It's easy to say when you win them. You generally enjoy all the games you win, but I just think the manner of the performances in games of such significance has been really pleasing. I speak all the time about us growing as a team, and I did speak, I think, in the weeks leading up to these games, that I felt as if we had grown in our ability to handle the bigger challenges, and I think we've shown that in different ways because there's two different types of performance as well. And I suppose that one of the nice things for me was seeing the player and staff's reaction after both games. So within the confines of our dressing room on both occasions, players and staff really delighted and not in any way forced excitement, but genuinely really pleased with what they had done. And I think that says a lot for their drive to get there and how much they put into it, because you can't hide that emotion that comes out sometimes in the back of achieving relative success. So we've got another big one that lies ahead of us, obviously, to have that feeling again. But hopefully it's another indication of the progression that we're making as a group as well. Thanks, David.
Jack, do you have a bit of sympathy for St Johnstone and what they're going through in terms of the COVID cases right now?
Well, I think, as always, I think that whenever we've discussed COVID related to football, that it can't be overlooked that it's a health issue first and foremost. So, and it can affect people obviously in a variety of ways in terms of how unwell they feel from it. So, I think first of all, as Callum's mentioned a lot, is about the welfare of the players and staff that are unfortunate to contract the virus. Beyond that, I'm going to sound really, it's almost like I'm going a 360 on it. I don't really pay too much attention because it's about my preparation for our team that will begin in earnest, obviously, once the Celtic game's out of the way, but we've already started to cast an eye towards. So for the course of the next 8 or 9 days, it will just be fully focused on what we do as a club and not paying too much attention to what was on elsewhere, because that can obviously happen at times with injuries, etc. as well. So obviously sympathy regarding people's health, but then from a professional point of view and football perspective, just fully concentrated on our own squad. Thank you.